Most people will spend their entire lives chasing the appearance of wealth and never once stop to ask why they always feel behind. They buy the right car, they wear the right things, they post the right pictures, and yet the account never grows, the anxiety never leaves. This video is about 6 moves, not hacks, not tricks. 6 actual structural shifts in how you think about money that quietly separate the people who build real wealth from everyone else. And if you stay until the end, I promise you'll see money differently by the time this is over. Let's start with the most invisible problem in personal finance. The one nobody talks about because it doesn't feel like a problem at all. You're at your desk on a Tuesday morning, coffee in hand, everything is fine. And then your coworker walks in and casually mentions he just leased a new Audi Q3, and something shifts in you, not jealousy exactly, more like a quiet pressure. A subtle scoreboard you didn't know you were keeping, and suddenly you feel like you're losing. Here's what nobody tells you about that Audi. The second that car leaves the lot, it begins losing value. Every single month, your coworker is paying to drive something worth less than what he owes on it. That's not wealth. That's debt with a nice smell. Net worth is not what you drive. It's not what you wear. Net worth is the simple math of what you own minus what you owe. And it's the only scoreboard that actually matters. While your coworker is leasing status symbols, you can be building something invisible, something that doesn't impress anyone at the office, but something that compounds quietly, month after month, in your favor. Automatic retirement contributions don't impress anyone in the parking lot, but they compound quietly while you sleep. And in 20 years, you'll be the one everyone else is quietly confused by. Move 1 is simple. Stop measuring yourself on someone else's display. Build your net worth scoreboard and protect it like it's the only game worth playing, because it is. Now let's talk about the things silently destroying more financial lives than almost anything else. Debt, not just having it, but the specific, quiet, devastating way most people carry it. Here's the scenario. You've got a credit card, balance sitting at $5,940. The minimum payment shows up on your statement, maybe $120 a month. Manageable, right? You'll deal with it eventually. At 24.49% interest, paying only the minimum, that $5,940 doesn't disappear in a year. It doesn't disappear in 2 years. It takes over 8 years. And by the time it's gone, you will have paid more than double what you originally owed. That's not a number. That's years of your life. Years of effort converted into someone else's profit because you were paying the minimum and telling yourself you'd deal with it later. The aggressive plan looks different. It's not comfortable. It requires you to actually sacrifice something temporarily. It means cutting things that feel necessary but aren't. It means redirecting every available dollar at that debt like it's the enemy. Pay $600 a month against that same $5,940 balance. You're done in 11 months. Total interest paid, roughly $700, not $6,000, $700. That's the difference between a plan and a minimum payment. Killing debt on purpose means treating it like a fire in your house. You don't pay the minimum amount of water to manage the fire. You grab every bucket you have and you put it out. Once that debt is gone, that $600 a month doesn't disappear. You redirect it into savings, into investments, into your future. The sacrifice is temporary. The freedom is permanent. There is a specific kind of financial pain that almost nobody talks about. It's not the big catastrophes. It's not losing your job or a medical crisis. It's the small ones, the $800 car repair, the broken water heater, the unexpected vet bill. When you don't have savings, a $400 problem becomes a $400 emergency. It doesn't just cost you money, it costs you sleep, it costs you options. It sends you right back to the credit card you just paid off. The emergency fund is one of the most boring things in personal finance, and that's exactly the point. It's not exciting. It's not meant to be exciting. It's a wall, built to stop the small disasters of life from becoming financial catastrophes. The target is 6 months of your basic living expenses, not your lifestyle. Your basics, rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, the floor beneath your feet, not the ceiling above your head. That number might look big right now, $11,000. $15,000, whatever your 6 months looks like. Don't stare at the total. Start with the first brick, automate it, set up a separate savings account, name it whatever keeps you honest. The wall, the shield, do not touch, and every payday move a fixed amount in automatically. You never see it, you never miss it, it just builds, and then the day comes. The alternator dies on the highway, the water heater floods your bathroom on a Sunday morning, the unexpected bill arrives, and instead of panic, you feel nothing, because the wall held. Most people build the wall after the disaster. The financially free build it before the storm comes. That's not pessimism, that's preparation. And there is a profound kind of peace that comes from knowing no small thing can break you. Here's a truth that no one in your company's HR department will ever put in writing. Your salary, no matter how hard you work, no matter how valuable you are, has a ceiling. And that ceiling was decided before you ever walked through the door. The standard annual raise is 3%. If you earn $60,000 today, in 5 years of loyal service and excellent performance, you'll be earning $69,556. That's $9,556 more per year, before taxes. Before inflation, before cost of living increases that have already eaten most of it. Your employer is not your enemy, but your employer's budget is not designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to retain you. There's a difference, and the moment you understand that difference, everything changes. The answer isn't to quit. The answer is to build a second income stream that has no ceiling at all, one where you are the decision maker. Where the hours you put in go directly into your own pocket, not into growing someone else's bottom line. Look at the skills you already have, the ones your employer pays you for every day: writing, design, analysis, teaching, coding, sales, project management. Every one of those skills has a market outside your company, and platforms exist right now to connect you to that market. And when the first money comes in from that side work, don't celebrate by spending it. Reinvest some of it back into the tools that make your work better, faster, more professional. A better monitor, a proper chair, a course that sharpens your skill. Compounding applies to effort too. 1 income stream is a salary, 2 income streams is a strategy, 3 is a foundation. The ceiling only exists if you accept the room you've been given. The financially free build their own rooms with no ceiling at all. Move 5 is the one most people misunderstand. They hear the word risk and they stop listening. But this isn't about reckless risk. It's about something far more specific and far more powerful. It's called an asymmetric bet. An asymmetric bet is any opportunity where the downside is limited and clearly defined, but the upside is virtually unlimited. The risk is real, but it's calculated. And the potential reward is so disproportionately large that the math actually favors taking the chance. Here's what it looks like in the real world. You're offered a role at a startup. The base salary is $12,000 less than your current job. That's the downside. It's real. You feel it every month, but they're offering you equity, a percentage of the company. The downside, $1,000 less per month in take-home pay. Manageable, uncomfortable, but manageable. The upside, if that company grows and sells, your equity could be worth $200,000 or $500,000. Or more. Fixed salary has a ceiling. Equity does not. Equity in a company is just one form of the asymmetric bet. It applies equally to starting a side business with a small upfront investment, to acquiring a skill that unlocks an entirely new income tier, to buying a small property when the market is down. The structure is the same: small, defined downside, massive, open upside. The people who stay ahead don't take random risks. They learn to evaluate bets. They ask, what's the worst realistic outcome if this fails? Can I survive it? And what does the best realistic outcome look like? If the answer to both is yes, the bet is worth taking. The financially safe play it safe. And safe, compounded over 30 years, produces a mediocre outcome. The financially free learn to spot the moments where the odds are quietly in their favor, and they take the bet, calmly. With open eyes. The last move is the one that most people skip entirely, because by the time they're ready for it, they don't want to think about it. It's not about earning more. It's not about saving more. It's about protecting everything you've already built. Here's what nobody tells you about building wealth. As it grows, so does what you stand to lose. The bigger your pile, the bigger the target on it. And the single worst financial moves most people make happen not from poor planning, but from failing to protect what was already there. Term life insurance, a basic will, a beneficiary designation on every account. These are not glamorous. They will never trend on social media. But they are the difference between your wealth surviving you and your family spending years untangling a legal disaster while they're grieving. Most people don't write a will because they don't want to think about dying. I understand that, but here's the reframe. Writing a will is not about death, it's about love. It's a document that says, I thought about the people I care about, and I made sure they were taken care of. That's an act of love, not morbidity. And while we're here, have the hard conversation. With your parents, with your partner, know where the important paperwork lives, know where the will is, know what accounts exist, know who the beneficiaries are. These conversations feel awkward. Do them anyway. Security isn't just accumulation. Anyone can pile up money. Wealth that lasts requires maintenance. It requires intentional protection. The fortress isn't built once and forgotten. It's checked, it's repaired, it's updated as your life changes. Build the pile, then build the fortress around it. Both matter. The accumulation without the protection is just an unguarded treasure. And the fortress without the treasure is just a beautiful, empty shell. You need both, always both. 6 moves, that's all this is. But let me be honest with you before we close, because this channel is about honesty more than inspiration. None of these moves are fast. None of them will work in 30 days. The personal finance internet will sell you 30-day transformations and overnight results. What I'm describing takes years. Quiet, unglamorous, consistent years. But here's what those years produce. They produce the morning where you wake up and realize no one owns you. No employer's budget determines your worth. No debt owns your paycheck. No emergency can break you. That morning, that specific feeling, is what financial freedom actually tastes like. Shift your scoreboard from display to net worth. Kill the debt on purpose, aggressively, not patiently. Build the wall before you need it, one brick at a time. Remove the ceiling from your income by building what you control. Take the asymmetric bets that others are too afraid to calculate, and build the fortress around everything you create. While everyone around you is performing wealth, wearing it, driving it, financing it, you will be building it, quietly, invisibly, without applause. And one day, without a single dramatic announcement, you will simply stop needing what most people are still desperately chasing. That's what stealth wealth feels like, not a number. A state of being. If something in this video landed for you, start with just one move, not all 6. 1. Write down your net worth today, or make a plan to eliminate one debt. Or open a separate savings account and automate $50, $1 brick. That's all it takes to begin. The 99% will keep watching from the window. The 1% started building the day they decided the view wasn't enough. That day can be today. It's your move. Thank you for being here. If this is your first time watching Grant Richfield, welcome. There's more where this came from. Subscribe and stay close.